Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Okay, looks like it's live now. I had a glitch there. One, two, 1 2. Okay, it does sound a little low here, so unlike last time, I'm going to change the audio to manual volume instead of automatic. I don't like that automatic. So far, so good. The view looks good. Alright, let's do a quick little theremin test here. Okay, I think we're good. I'm going to go ahead and kill this so I don't hear myself twice. Ready. Fix my chat here in case anybody joins. And fix this here. Okay. Alrighty. Now it's a little bit more fun with some delay. So got Theremini and turn it down a tad here so it doesn't compete. It's Theremini running a preset called the Classic, and it's basically running. This is an Ionian mode, so basically it's C major, all the white keys, and root is C, and I have the long delay turned on. It's got built-in effects of various kinds. Right now I'm just using the delay a little bit. And the hard tuning is turned off. One of the advantages of Theremini, not only do you have CV and MIDI control with it, MIDI over USB unfortunately, but you can convert that. But it also does CV, and it has hard tuning, so you can learn like theremin training wheels. And it also has a bunch of presets in it that are not classic theremin. They're all over the map. In fact, they basically took the presets from Moog on the iPad and put them in here. So you get a lot of cool, crazy sounds that were never on a theremin to begin with, plus some classic tones that have this typical oscillator sound. In some ways you can dial in like a female voice and pretend to do like opera with it. But what's fun about this is I'm only hooking up one pedal to it tonight, but you can use all kinds of pedals on this thing to make it do, you can arpeggiator, this arpanoid pedal from Earthquaker. I hooked that up sometime. You can add reverbs to it, distortions. In this case, I'm running POG, so I may as well just show you now. The POG. Polyphonic Octave Generator. Now, guitar, each string is monophonic. Let me move this out of the way. Each string is monophonic, but it's polyphonic when you do chords. Theremin is monophonic, but if I run it through POG, Let's do a little zoom in here. And a little focus thingy. And a little light so you can see it better. There you go. It's upside down, but you get the idea. I need to be able to read it when I'm using it. So, this is your master volume here. Right now I have it on bypass. Let me kick it into pass through. Kill the effects. So it pretty much sounds the same. And that's this slider right here. It's the root coming into the POG. So I have 4 goodies I can add here. Basically, you can go down 2 octaves and up 2 octaves. So down 2 octaves, up 2 octaves with each slider. So this is down 2 octaves, down 1 octave, okay. You can add 2 more octaves, up 1 octave and up 2 octaves. So it's getting more organ-like. Now I'm going to turn on the hard tuning so it's not so woo woo woo, because everyone gets the idea of the theremin. It's this continuous, sweep up and down. But I'm going to turn hard tuning on. So now it sounds like I'm playing an organ preset on a keyboard. I realize I forgot to start the Instagram thing because it's stupid. You have to actually start it manually. Okay, now it's gone. Okay, starting late on Instagram. Sorry if you're watching Instagram. Polyphonic octave generator. This is the POG 2. Hooked to a Moog Theremini. And I can just start over again with clear tone of the Theremini coming in with hard tuning turned on. I'll turn hard tuning back off again. So you get all the woo, ghostly sounds you get from all the sci-fi movies and stuff over the years. But it's, unless you spend a lot of time practicing, you set up the perfect room without interference. Because this uses body capacitance, it uses a heterodyne circuit that it's totally affected by everything around it. So right now I'm moving my whole body next to it. And my body's totally static, and now I'm moving my hand toward it. And if I stand super far away, I can get it to go down a little bit further. But you have to go into the custom settings to actually give it a bigger range. So you can actually go 5 octaves on this thing. It's pretty impressive. But you can't, the POG is close enough that's causing maybe a little bit of interference to affect the range. This microphone is also getting power, so the microphone is potentially interfering a little bit with it. If you have it hooked to a long cable on a speaker, like a guitar amp or something like that, and everything's far away from it except for you stand perfectly still and you move with purpose. Your arms a very specific way and your hands a certain way. You can get perfect control over the pitch, vibrato, volume, the whole thing. But that takes many, many years and a perfect environment. I have a lot of things on right now around it, which is definitely not a perfect environment. So let me turn hard tuning back on. Let me change the range. Now, that was the lowest range for that preset, which is fine. So now I'm going to bring in the POG. So down 2 octaves. Down 1 octave. Up 1 octave. Up 2 octaves. Now what's cool is it sounds like an organ, but you also have filters on here and some built-in effects. So I'm going to turn on this. Well, first you can just tweak the filter right now. but it's not too dramatic. These different modes, some are more harsh than others. So that gets pretty crazy right there. And also, depending on how this is dialed in, you can, when I'm activating the volume antenna, you can actually hear the, sometimes the filter starts to kick in, depending on how I have this set. There's also this effects mode here, which I haven't read the manual, so I'm not sure what they all do, but you can hear some changes here. This is almost like a phasing or flanging effect added to it a little bit. Bit of a pulsing. So you get the idea. So I'm going to play with mostly just the octave parts and maybe the filter, and just go through some different presets here. Let's go a little bit louder. Once you engage the POG, you gotta give them more juice. So again, let's thin it back out. So it's already a pretty cool sound. This is again one of the ones from Moog. It's called Charlie Mute. And it's root is C, it's chromatic scale. Sounds like a really thin mini Moog kind of sound. I can go over here. Yeah, that's the lowest I can go. But now let's bring in the extra octaves. Gets a little too thick, then I'm going to have to maybe bring the volume down a tad. Let's move that over a bit so you can see it better. Fix that focus. There we go. So again, sorry, it's upside down, but I have to be able to read it to use it. So it's just a guitar in, guitar out, power supply, and the settings. So you can do presets. And it's a bypass, and this is the foot switch for presets, the manual preset knob, and it's on a table. But right now I'm just staying on the single preset and just modifying it real time. So now I'm turning hard tuning off. It's still stuck on a little bit. Okay, now it's totally off. So I'm getting the range. I'm not getting 5 octaves because of the way it's configured on this patch, and because all the electrical interference and me causing the range of the thing to do that. I'm going to turn this down a tad so you can hear. I did a hardware jam last year sometime that basically I had a theremin come in. It was one of the little communicating with aliens hardware jam, whatever it was called, in several parts. And I made one that was about the Arecibo dish down in Puerto Rico, doing SETI stuff, communicating with, you know, sending signals out to ETs if anyone is listening, kind of stuff. And I had, for a little surprise, because part of hardware jam fun is maybe add a little visual element to it, not just somebody playing an instrument. But because I do it kind of last minute live, I don't have time to render a crazy video with all kinds of effects and stuff like some people do, which is, it's cool when they do that. I just often don't get around to my tune before it's real late. So I added a visual element where not only going to play a theremin to add a music part with a theremin, but I had the theremin on a boom mic arm that I was able to pivot. Just had to kind of pivot into the scene like that, and then I played it, and then I pivoted it back out and back so you can see the gear underneath it again. The problem is it was hovering above stuff that's on. It was hovering above several things out of camera, power supplies, things like that. And like I said, all that interference on any theremin will whack it out. Either you won't get the tracking that you want, you won't get the range that you want, or it won't even change. You'll just stay on a pitch or do some other weird stuff, because again, it's your body's interfering with it because it's creating this essentially like a field that you're interrupting. So like when you walk through a field, like a motion sensor of some kind for a security system, or the automatic door opener at your local store so the door opens for you, or a metal detector, the security detectors at the airport, they're all kind of a similar idea of you're walking through a field, you're interrupting it, and your body is creating a certain amount of change to that field. But something like metal will totally change that field drastically compared to your body, because the certain systems are tuned to find metal objects, which is why plastic can go through those. This is why they have the body scanners now. So if you have a plastic knife, you can't get on a plane, because clever people made ceramic or plastic knives that would go right through a scanner. So now they have the visual scanner where they actually go into your clothes with some private view so you don't get embarrassed looking at your private parts at the airport. But this is all that same kind of thing. You're passing through an electrical field or electromagnetic field, depending on how it's configured, and that disruption is turned into data, in this case pitch and modulation and even volume. I'm also changing the volume. So you've seen the theremin, it's two antennae. The vertical antenna is pitch, the horizontal antenna usually on your left side, depending on how you have it configured, is the volume. And so you can do tremolo by alternating the volume quickly. You can just do fade outs or subtle volume changes by moving your hand closer and further away from the volume antenna. The pitch antenna, you're getting the pitch, you're getting vibrato from waving your hand. Depending on how you have this thing configured, you can also kind of get maybe some timbral options with certain effects turned on. Or even on this POG, I noticed on a few settings, I'm trying to recreate them. This is my quick test before I did this. I was getting some really cool, as I was playing with the volume antenna on here, as I got closer and closer to touching it, which totally kills the signal, I was getting this filter effect. So the POG filter was actually responding to the volume intensity, because there's also an attack slider here. And I was trying to find the right position to get that to do that again. Let's see if I can do that. It's kind of doing there a little bit. The timbre's changing, not just the volume. So you dial in a certain setting on here and you can do more than just volume. It's kind of fun. So I put it back on hard tune. Let's pick another preset. A major pentatonic scale. It's called elastic motion. Let's turn these down again. turn off the hard tune. This one has the delay on it. It's also got this pulsing motion. Now it's on hard tuning. That was boring. Let's pick a different preset. This is called Ethereal. It's on dry right now. So this one's going a little bit deeper. This is nice. So now we've got it pretty deep here. Let's bring in the second octave down. And one octave down. Filter action here. One octave up. Turn this down a bit because it's starting to clip, it looks like. Two octaves up. The filter gets pretty wild. So if I just do the this is a Q button, so resonance. So if I have it off, I'm just getting filter amount, but I'm not getting any cutoff. Now I'm starting to add some resonance. Pretty subtle. A little more. Very extreme there. Back to normal. Pretty cool. So the POG is great. It's not just for guitar. You can use it for a vocal. You can use it for a theremin. You could use it for anything to add a little thickness to something. Kind of like using a vocal processor, like a TC Helicon or something like that, where you basically sing into it and you get 4-part harmonies out of one voice. But this one's designed around, I haven't tried it with a vocal. It'd probably be pretty cool, but clearly it's pretty fun with the theremin. But because the theremin, so far most of the tones are pretty basic, except for that one Moogy tone, like a mini Moog tone, it makes it sound like an organ, which is not always that bad. But it would clearly need more than just a POG. I should have like the maybe reverb, maybe some extra pizzazz, thrown in a little filter, other filtery type things, or delay effects, chorus flanging, phase shifter, things like that. I think this is a phase shifter. Let's see. Depends on the sound I'm feeding it. Earlier it sounded like a little like a phase shifter when I was doing a test. But again, I got to read the manual. So Electro Harmonics has a lot of really cool stuff. Loopers, guitar effects, reverbs, stuff like this. There's a guy, I'm not sure if he's still there or if he even worked on this one. He probably did because it's a clever pedal. This guy, David Cockerell. He's been around for a while, and he made a lot of really cool stuff for Electro Harmonics. The one called Ravish Sitar, where it makes any guitar or plucky thing gives you sympathetic string vibration sounds and all that kind of stuff you get out of a sitar that you just don't get out of a normal guitar. It's very interesting. So that guy designed a lot of cool stuff with them. Let's try another. So this is clean. I turned the effects off on the theremin. So in one mode I can quickly set the root note. And in another mode, that same knob will set hard tuning on and off. So it's hard tuning with delay. And again, I'm not invoking the POG, maybe a little bit of the filter, but did some weird artifacts there, but it's kind of fun. Good. No clipping that I could tell. So as you sit here and play with the different octaves while you're performing, get some sound design on the fly. Always leave that because that's your root. You gotta have that or you get no sound. Alright, back to normal. There's the Moog sound. This one's called All Your Bass. You guys get the reference from the video game All Your Bass Are Belong to Us. Zero Wing is a Japanese game. In this case, it's spelled bass. B-A-S-S. Here you go. So here I have this filter set the way it is, and it could just be the theremin itself. Let's see. I'll disengage this. Okay, cool. So they set this preset on the Theremini to affect the filter with the volume antenna. So I'm getting a filter cutoff, essentially without touching anything, just moving my hand closer to the volume antenna. If I go too close, I will kill the sound. Closes the filter and then it touches. So I'm almost touching the antenna. Now I've touched it, it's totally off. But even when I just barely let go, it's still off, because that's the way the configuration is. But it's cool, you can do that sweep. But I had a little bit of that coming off of here too when I had that configured, if I was doing the right thing. So pretty ballsy. Now this is just the guy by himself. What's going to happen when I add the octaves? It's pretty wicked. Turn off the hard tuning. Need some hard tuning. Now I can tweak the range a bit. The cool thing is I can filter out the octaves and leave the root. Sliders are a little stiff, so I'm trying to move them carefully so it doesn't just jerk. Sounds a little bit like some of the video drone music made by Howard Shore. Put the delay on. Cool. Turn to the preset. It's called Square Wavy. A little bit like some early Tangerine Dream stuff. Again, it doesn't sound like a theremin. It's just tweaked like a theremin because the way the tuning's working. So here's an example of a theremin you can run that will give you some of the weirdo behavior of a theremin without actually sounding like one. This is a major pentatonic scale. Okay, it's already kind of low. Let's give it some octaves. Almost sounds Native American. active motion one called Evolution. This is a fifth scale. That was called Shaken. It was a C. Dorian. That's going to be good. There's a minor blues scale. It was called Wanium. Very weird spelling. That was Long Echoes in Locrian. Here you go. It's a good one. Strange stuff. I have no idea what it's going to sound like. It's in major thirds. Here's an example where I want to control it, but in order to move over to the volume antenna, I'm going to actually change the note by accident. So if I'm quick enough, I can do it before it changes notes. called Lost in Fog and on the POG. It's fun to turn the hard tuning down just a tad. Hey, Viral Beats, what's up? Moog Theremini through POG with different settings. Theremini has built-in effects, hard tuning if you want, MIDI, CV, all kinds of stuff. Right now I'm just me and audio with the POG. So it's called Lost in Fog. It's major pentatonic. And I'm going to start adding some POG elements. Yeah, it's a cool thing. I mean, this was aimed at guitars, but like anything else, you can do whatever the hell you want with it. Vocals, theremin, and because theremin's a monophonic device, anything helps to spice it up. So again, this is the, since I think you tuned in pretty late, this is the master root coming in straight from the theremin. No goodies except whatever the theremin's sending. Might have effects, might have a custom scale, whatever. This is called North Pole. Hard tuning's turned on, it's got a little delay on it. Some of these lend themselves to being very organ sounding. Here's the filter here. So there's a regular filter amount here. Cutoff, but if I basically turn on the resonance, make it a little more severe. Let me go back to One of the cool Moog ones earlier. It's called All Your Bass. Turn all this crap off here. Check this baby out. It's a nice Moog, because this uses Moog sound engine on top of the theremin sounds. So you can get much crazier sounds out of it than just a regular theremin. It's a minor blues scale. This is 2 octaves down. 1 octave down. 1 octave up. Two octaves up. And the cool thing is they added its own, I don't even have to do this filter cutoff here. The preset to the volume antenna of the theremin, I have filter cutoff here too. But if I go too close, I actually mute it. I've still got the hard tuning on, but I can turn the hard tuning off. Have delay on so it lasts a little longer too. Needs hard tuning. Yeah, it's a fun one like that. Let's do a couple more. This is called Digitalis. Lydian scale. Or mode, actually. Lydian mode. what's up, Steve? Sorry I'm not watching the chat like I should. Cool thing about the filter is the filter affects the 4 octaves, but not the root. Well, it does a little bit. Let's see. So without the resonance, it's pretty much bringing it all in or out, except for the root. These effects I haven't figured out yet. I haven't read the manual. This one's called Burning Chrome. There's crazy names for this stuff. This one's set where it's the opposite. If I go too far away from the volume antenna, it mutes. So I actually get close to play it. So you have to play this one with 2 hands. It's major pentatonic. Here we go, Magic Missile. But you know, if they hear a theremin like that, that's pretty crazy. Almost like something out of a K oscillator. And that was it. We're back to classic theremin. I think there are 30 presets. Yeah, 33 presets. So, alrighty, that's kind of it. I haven't had any dinner yet. I gotta go eat. But it's almost 10 o'clock my time. Crazy. Gotta rustle up some food here. Thanks for hanging out, guys. And yeah, it's just fun. I mean, these experimental things are fun. These little streams where you just take a bunch of shit and put it together and see what happens. I got this POG, God, at least more than 6 months ago, probably a year ago. And I think I used it once on another stream with some other gear. and maybe one other time ever. So like I said, I don't even know what this effects thing does. I got to look that up. But the rest of it's pretty self-explanatory. This is just like filter. This is like resonance, filter slope. So it's more intense when you get the brighter LED with this cutoff slider, and there's an attack and stuff. And then these presets. It'd be fun to make some presets so I can just do less sliding around the sliders. But it's pretty cool. It gives you the root plus 4 octaves, 2 up, 2 down, and so pretty cool out of a little pedal. It's typical electro harmonics. I think this was used maybe $150, maybe $200 max, probably 300 new, something like that. So I mean, they're all kind of in the same ballpark. They have the like the cool things are those newer ones, like the Mel 9, which is like a Mellotron pedal that does pitch tracking, and they have a synth 9, I think it's called. So it's synth patches with tracking. Again, that's another David Cockerell thing. That guy's amazing. But these are fun. This is an older one. You also get Ravish sitars. You can get fake sitar, sympathetic resonances, and other things out of your stuff. So it's kind of like a modular, almost like a rings or an elements module for your guitar or microphone or theremin or whatever you plug into this thing, or that thing I should say. But yeah, these are great to stack. So I just wanted to try this one by itself just to see how much I could do with one thing, considering it's adding all these different octaves. Pretty cool. So I definitely want to use this again with some other stuff like the Arpanoid, which adds arpeggios to your input signal, or Terra Echo was cool, where you get some little delay effects with an extra, I think it's a filtery thing when you step on the pedal. I forgot. I have a couple other things that I could use too. So just fun stuff. But some really kind of famous theremin people online kind of cued me into some of these things. They never use this. I've never seen this demo with a theremin, but Arpanoid and some other effects and different reverbs and delays and stuff. It's fun to stack them and make something like a theremin, which is it's expressive, but it's fairly bland tone-wise, unless you get something like this Theremini, or a MIDI theremin that can control other gear, and then you can just theremin your synths. But yeah, it's kind of fun just to take the basic output and then some crazy presets on this thing and tweak the shit out of them. So anyway, I'm gabbing. I gotta go grab some food here, see what I got in the kitchen. But thanks again, everybody, and I will see you soon. Stay synthy.